Ladies and gentlemen, let us have a candid discussion about Edwin Sifuna. As you know, Edwin Sifuna is the senator of Nairobi, and he is also the Secretary General of ODM. And of late, Edwin Sifuna is actually deconstructing the government of William Samoei Arap Ruto badly. And at the same time, people within the ODM as a political party, they feel that Edwin Sifuna is also in a mission of actually destroying ODM as a political party. And because of what he is doing by deconstructing broad-based government, because as you know, the broad-based government was actually formed between William Samoei Arap Ruto and Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And Edwin Sifuna started actually deconstructing the government of William Samoei Arap Ruto from the time when President William Samoei Arap Ruto gave an okay for Raila Amolo Odinga to go and fight for the chairmanship of the AU. And from that time, the ODM as a political party actually started a journey of working with William Samoei Arap Ruto, even if by that time they had never signed any formal agreement about their working relationship. But Edwin Sifuna started by speaking that he will never support William Samoei Arap Ruto re-election, even if ODM as a political party could actually agree to support William Samoei Arap Ruto late come 2027. Please hear this, how it started and how Edwin Sifuna said that he can never support William Samoei Arap Ruto. Listen to this carefully.
No, there's something he said. There's something he said finally here, yes, that he and Sifuna will support Ruto. Yes. In that booth, I want you to bring your cameras on the day of the election. Yes. Personally, there is no way I can support Ruto. There is no way.
Okay. One of your members, George Aladwa, said something. Let's listen to what George Aladwa and Anthony Olwod said.
We panga mambo hii kidogo ya hapa na pale ya 2027 kura itafuatana kuruka. Sisi tuko nyuma yako, umetembea na baba, tumeona Jumamosi, last week tumeona, na hiyo ni heshima kwa ndugu yako mkubwa. Na unapotembea ndugu yako mkubwa na mwingine anacheka, wewe cheka, na 2027 tutachekana na wewe. Na nawakumbusha wale ODM wanaongea huko kando, waongee tu, lakini sisi ODM original, rais ni William.
After listening to that, you can agree that Edwin Sifuna actually doesn't like William Samoei Arap Ruto at all. And also, it came to a time when ODM had actually to sign a memorandum of understanding so that it can work with UDA as a political party. And at that time, President William Samoei Arap Ruto actually thanked a lot his brother in politics, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, by actually accepting to work with UDA as a political party. And they signed a memorandum which was having 10 points agenda. And one of the agenda is that William Samoei Arap Ruto was actually to be democratic on his dealings, and he was to stop the killings of the youths and also to do the compensation of the youths. And at that time when that memorandum of understanding was actually being signed, EDWIN SIFUNA was not happy at all, because he showed it all outward. He showed that he was actually forced as the Secretary General of ODM to sign that kind of memorandum of understanding. And as you know, when it comes to coalition, the person who gives the position of the party is the party leader. And from that time, it is actually known outside here that ODM is in bed with UDA as a political party. And there is a relationship between ODM and UDA. And nobody can deny that. Even if you deny it, you will be told there is a relationship. And of late, when Right Honorable Amolo Odinga was actually being interviewed, he said that he is going to work with William Samoei Arap Ruto until 2027. And they could see what is another way forward. And actually, that becomes the position of ODM as a political party. And anybody within ODM needs to know that that is the position. But it looks like EDWIN SIFUNA doesn't want to acknowledge that, even if at a point he says that is the position of the party. And he said that it is unfortunate because EDWIN SIFUNA is that person who believes that it is not good enough to work with William Samoei Arap Ruto, because William Samoei Arap Ruto is going to soil the ODM as a political party. And he believes that the main agenda towards 2027 is actually to make William Samoei Arap Ruto to be a one-term president. And he says that he is opposing the working relationship with UDA and the Kenya Kwanza government, because he believes that that will soil ODM as a political party. But there are those political leaders within ODM who say that they are the original party members of ODM. They have actually come out clearly and they have warned EDWIN SIFUNA, and they have told him clearly that for them, 2027, they are going to work with William Samoei Arap Ruto, and they are going to vote William Samoei Arap Ruto. And anybody who is not satisfied with that, it is better for him to pack and go. That is actually what a group of political people within the ODM have actually told EDWIN SIFUNA. But EDWIN SIFUNA is on a mission. He wants to deconstruct President William Samoei Arap Ruto. He has said that William Samoei Arap Ruto has not done anything good for this nation. He has killed the economy. He is still encouraging police brutality. The Gen Zs are being murdered here and there. And he doesn't believe that that government should actually continue to be in place, because he believes that the Kenyans should actually even force William Samoei Arap Ruto to resign. He also believes that William Samoei Arap Ruto must be impeached, because he believes that if William Samoei Arap Ruto will be left to stay on power until 2027, then Kenyans is going to lose many lives of the Gen Zs or the young people. And he believes that William Samoei Arap Ruto doesn't actually protect human rights at all. And he doesn't honor even our constitution. And that is why he has always said that his point number one towards 2027 is to make sure that William Samoei Arap Ruto is actually sent home. And he is doing this while he is being interviewed in broad daylight. What many people feel is that EDWIN SIFUNA is on his way out of ODM as a political party. And that is why on an interview in Citizen TV, he has been asked, if you are not satisfied with what your party is doing, with the relationship your party is having with UDA, then why can't you resign? Why can't you move out of UDA? And he has said that he is not going to resign because he believes he must make sure that he change what ODM is trying to do with UDA, so that ODM can actually move out of the government and try to rearrange itself towards 2027 presidential election. And EDWIN SIFUNA has said that if it is Fred Okengo Matiang'i who will make William Samoei Ruto to be a one-term president, then be it. He is going to vote for Matiang'i, for him to remove William Samoei Arap Ruto from power. So EDWIN SIFUNA is a man on a mission. And the mission is, he wants to discredit broad-based government. He wants to make sure that ODM has withdrawn out of the broad-based government. And that the priority in this nation is to make sure that William Samoei Arap Ruto is out of power. But is this not a self-destruction? Because if Raila Amolo Odinga has said that we need to stay in government, then who is EDWIN SIFUNA? Because I believe we have MPs who have come out and they have told him, remember, we used to have the likes of Ababu Namwamba. But when they thought they have grown horns, they were dehorned. They were removed from the ODM as a political party. And from that time, they have never recovered politically. My fellow listeners, what is your say about all that? I want, before I end this conversation, for you to listen how EDWIN SIFUNA was actually deconstructing President William Samoei Arap Ruto and the broad-based government. Please listen to this.
My sincere belief is if we are sustaining a democratic state so that we can all elect somebody or kick somebody out democratically, can we all get there? Can we all get there? Because if you go by the rate, this regime killed over 40 people on Sabasaba. If you do that math and we have another maybe 800 days to go, 800 times 40, that's what? 320, isn't it? People. I'm at 32,000. Actually, 32,000 people will die before we get to the election under the guns of this regime. Those 32,000 people will not get an opportunity to kick William Ruto out. I gave the example of Albert. Albert is in the ground now. You cannot tell Albert to wait for you in 2027. If Ruto kept his word, then it would be easy for some of us to buy that justification for the sustenance of the democratic state, you know? So when you have leaders, a person in the position of a head of state, telling the Kenyan police, and you know the Kenyan police, they have a history, telling the Kenyan police now you are allowed to shoot people. You have his acolytes like Nelson Koech saying, in fact, don't shoot in the legs, shoot to kill. Those instructions permeate to these junior officers. And I'm telling you, Yvonne, if we do not have another way, we will lose more lives before we get to 2027. Let nobody tell us about shiny things like Stadia and Sijui roads and what. I am telling you, personally as SIFUNA, we want a government that will respect the rule of law, that will respect human rights and the dignity of the people of Kenya.
Does this government do that?
This government surely does not. This government is killing the people. This government does not listen to the people. This is the worst possible government. If you go back to the spirit of the Constitution in 2010, this is the worst possible government we would have envisaged. It's the direct opposite of what we wanted. So I hear William Ruto has succeeded in bullying these guys in the opposition, Kina Kalonzo, into, he says, these people just say WANTAM, they don't have any agenda. I want William Ruto to know that his removal from office is a national priority agenda. It is the only agenda. Because his government is totally opposed to everything that this constitution stands for. And I want these people to be bold. Don't be bullied. You don't have to, he wants to push you into a corner where you're discussing markets. Tell Albert Ojwang about markets and roads. In my ranking, removing Ruto is top. It's even higher than getting a second terminal at JKI or dualing Malaba to Mombasa.
And how would we do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about that, because there's those calls for one term.
Yeah.
The president, on the other hand, calls those calls unconstitutional.
They are not unconstitutional.
So,
these terms are granted by the public. I've told you we are the sovereign. Yeah. If we decide to give you one term, we'll give you a term. If we decide to give you half a term, we impeach you. I mean, it is in the Constitution. And you can also resign midway from public pressure. We have seen it happen. We have seen it happen that governments have collapsed under the weight of the pressure of the people. Because once people have rejected you, they have rejected you. It is a constitutional way to remove somebody midterm. Yeah.
And one of those would be impeachment, as you said.
Correct.
Do you think Parliament is sufficiently independent to do that, if that is what the people would ask them to do? And you sit in the Senate, which would be a very important player in this.
Personally, if he was sent to the Senate, I would impeach him without blinking. The way the other one who was sent to us was impeached.
You once said that if President Ruto is re-elected, you will find another country to go to. Is this still your position? First of all, you are a media practitioner. Don't share things you've seen on social media. In my position as SG and Senator of Nairobi, everything I say, everything, there is a clip. It's on video. It's like these things I've said here today, I cannot deny them because I have said them on TV. If you show me a video of me saying that, because I've seen that thing circulating in social media, and I'm waiting for any Kenyan who has that video to show me. So you wouldn't leave? I will never flee my own country. We will die here. We're not running away. It is our responsibility to fix this country. And I'm telling you, we must play our part. We must play our part in fixing this country and revert it back to what people envisaged it to be when they were passing this constitution. This document did not come easily. We are the generation who were born under Moi Yvonne. I lived my entire life under a dictatorship. The first time I got an opportunity to vote, I went to vote Kanu out. I am not going back to that life, where you're sitting with your father and he has a Land Rover and he runs into the sugarcane farm to hide.
And he has done nothing, because those guys, you would explain when you are in committee. You explain when you're already there. So you would rather just hide. We are not going back there. But these days, the DPP is just a conveyor belt for these charge sheets that are written in police stations. So today they'll write a charge sheet saying SIFUNA is being charged with terrorism. And the judiciary, which is supposed to be the vanguard of the people, they know, all these judges know the games that are being played by the state. You know? They know the games that are being played by the state. I remember when they were deporting Miguna, there is a judge in Kajiado who, when Miguna was presented before them, I think it was a magistrate, he said, but I am aware the High Court in Nairobi is waiting for Miguna. Can you take him there? That is the sort of judiciary we expect, because that's the last, if the judiciary collapses, then we're all done. You know? The judiciary collapses, we're all done. So when I hear the CJ, who I have criticized repeatedly, first for going to drink tea at State House, because he has refused to keep the separation of powers, then recently by saying, oh, people who attack the judiciary or burn buildings are terrorists. She's the originator of all these problems. She knows there's a crime called arson. She went to school. She knows there's a crime called arson. If somebody burns down your house, you charge them with arson. Terrorism is a totally different issue, you know? So we are in a bad place. We are in a very bad place as a country.
And moving forward, do you think any of the others who are presenting themselves for possible leadership in the country as we go forward, because it's very clear we're in a pre-campaign, if not, you know, full campaign season. You know, they've organized themselves under the United One Kenya opposition. I'd like us to maybe talk about each of them. Yeah. So there's Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who has expressed interest in the top seat in the country. What do you think of him as a solution going forward? First of all, as a leader of a political party, I am inclined to think of myself first. I must think of ODM first. ODM is not, has not run out of leaders. ODM has not run out of ability to produce presidential candidates. So why are you sending me there? You should have started with my own political party. Let's go. But I will tell you this. We will get to ODM. We will get to ODM. My view about 2027 is that there will be no room for sentiment. The project of removing William Ruto does not allow for sentiment. We will not work with angels. There are no angels. Even SIFUNA is not an angel. I have my faults. I'm not a perfect human being. But the national priority project of removing William Ruto does not allow for sentiment. So, Dr. Fred Matiang'i has his faults. And, you know, that's why I said, I referred you to this preamble. We must all agree that we are going back to a government that respects the rule of law, human dignity, democratic governance, all of those. And I am happy that everybody who has declared to be president is being examined on their record. Is being examined on their record and their history. And this is the thing that we missed out in 2022. Because they say a leopard never changes its spots. Your history is who you are. If you are died in the wool Kanu hawk from the 90s, you know, Yvonne, when we were kids, when multi-party was coming, I was about 10 years in 92. They used to tell us that if you flash the two-finger salute, they will cut one finger. Who are those people who are telling us those things? These kind of youth wingers here who are in power now. From that time. So, examine the history of everyone. Fred Matiang'i has his faults. But, if he's going to help us remove William Ruto, so be it.
After listening to that, you can agree with the analysis which I had given to you. And I believe EDWIN SIFUNA is on his way out of ODM. And I'm very sure soon ODM is going to kick out EDWIN SIFUNA being the Secretary General of ODM, because EDWIN SIFUNA must actually agree with the position of ODM as a political party that they are going to work with William Samoei Arap Ruto, probably until 2027. And then, if also they can agree, they can work more than 2027. They can actually even have a new pact, a new memorandum of understanding on how they will work with William Samoei Arap Ruto from 2027 forward. What is your say about all this issue? Do you see EDWIN SIFUNA surviving to be the Secretary General of ODM? Do you believe what EDWIN SIFUNA is doing is right? And he should continue doing that. Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and if your friends are lovers of politics, then it is good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you subscribe, always make sure to smash the bell button, because by doing that, you give YouTube permission so that you can get notified to watch any political video that we upload into YouTube. And for those ones who have subscribed and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly, because you always give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with that, I say thank you until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.